Kevin, there's a lot of history in this rivalry between SMU and Baylor from play since 2016, but how much do you and the guys know about it, and do these in-state matchups mean anything to you guys as players?
Yeah.
Many of you were probably recruited by both schools.
Yeah, I really don't know too much about it. Haven't heard too much about it, honestly. But, I grew up watching Baylor. My uncle played for them, Corey Coleman. So I grew up watching them as I was growing up. And I know, any in-state rival game is, it's pretty big. So I'm just looking forward to getting after them and playing them. And, a top school that I was looking at. So, yeah, I'm ready to look at them.
Anytime you guys are playing TC or Baylor, we bring up the Southwest Conference. What do you know about the Southwest Conference, if anything? Because it was long before.
Yeah, yeah. I don't really know too much about it. I mean, I heard of it, of course, but kind of something I really don't know about. I just know SMU was in there a while back. That's the only thing I really know, honestly. So yeah, that's the only thing I know. Don't really know too much about it.
I mean, I'm sure it means a lot to some of the fans that have been around for a long time. But do you think it makes a difference, though, that now that SMU's made itself and now it's back in another power conference?
Yeah, definitely. Moving our way up to the ACC last year, being able to play in the higher conference, P4 conference, it's obviously a big deal, and I think the fans really appreciate that, honestly. Like you said, the Southwest Conference, and now coming to the ACC where it's a high-powered conference, we're just looking to make our way back like they did back in the day.
Now that you've got a chance to watch the film, was there anything that surprised you about your play, or good or bad?
Not really surprised. Like I said, last it was kind of average, just mediocre. I mean, I feel like I did some things really good, and then some things wasn't up to my expectations. So just looking at that, hoping to fix hoping to fix some mistakes for next week, or this week coming up.
You got a chance yet to watch the Baylor film, I guess. I mean,
Yes, sir.
You've seen what Jackson Arnold was able to do
Right.
with his feet against Baylor.
Yes, sir.
What does that give you confidence on? And what did you see maybe that you could?
Yeah, I mean, definitely seeing him rush for that amount of yards was like 130 or something like that. It's kind of eye-opening for me that I can do the same thing, honestly. If they give me the gaps to run, why not take off and go get some yards, pick up some yards? And I think that would be the main factor for our team, this week, just to, be able to run the ball for sure.
The freshman receivers now, being forced into a little bit more action. I mean, in game one, what did you learn about some of those guys who got to
Yeah.
work with?
Yeah, I think those guys are ready. They came in. Jay Hutt got hurt the first play. Jalen Cooper came in and made an impact. Immediately he had like 70 yards, a touchdown, his first collision touchdown. So I think he's ready. We got Carterius, we got Isaiah Roberson. All those guys. So those guys are definitely ready. They got out there today at practice, and they had a really good practice today. So looking forward to seeing those guys ball.
What makes Jalen just kind of ready, or at least look
Yeah.
pretty ready right away?
Yeah, I mean, when he came in, he was just looking up to Jordan Hudson, Romello, and that's two great guys to look up to and learn from. So just him, sitting back, watching them, watching how they do and all of that, I think he's picked a part of their game and, added to his game. And it's like, it's a game that's elevating each and every day.
We always hear about teams get much better between. You got to make your biggest jump between game 1 and 2.
Right.
You've experienced it before. What do you take that as?
Yeah, I mean, I think going into game 1, it's your first time playing a different team. It's a different speed, and it's the first week of football. So, looking back to last year, Nevada kind of got us on our toes. We had to make a comeback. This week we didn't play our best. This past week we didn't play our best game in week 1. So I think it's just filling the team out week 1, and then going to watching film to fix some mistakes, and going to week 2 and just playing ball and getting after it.
Each of the running backs had different moments of success last week. Is
Right.
that something you're just expected more of the same for each guy to have different little pockets?
Yeah, definitely. All of those guys can play, so I'm looking forward to them just, getting in the game, making plays, making explosive plays, and all of that. And I know they're capable of it, so I'm just looking forward for them to do that.
Is it nice that game 1 is out of the way, and
Right.
now this one that
Yeah.
was there any kind of looking ahead or things like that, at least in the back of your mind maybe?
Yeah, not too much looking ahead. I mean, we knew we had Baylor coming up, obviously, but just taking one game at a time. We had Commerce on our schedule, so we were looking forward to Commerce, and then Baylor is here now, so we're just trying to prepare as best as we can to come in this week and make a great game for us.